Wholesome and Wild, Folláin is Fiáin. Sacred Messages, Eolas, Naofa, a special podcast series with Kathleen Farren and Sandra Saradesi. Welcoming our special guest, Irene Sobral. Welcome to Sacred Messages with myself, Kathleen Farren, and Sandra Saradesi. And our guest, Irene Sobral. Irene and Sandra met a few years ago in Portugal, where they were both in the same gym club, the sports club, and a meditation class was happening. They invited Sandra to do some meditation, and Irene experienced the oils from the Fragrance Alchemy collection through Sandra there. And without any question, she dove straight into it because somewhere deep, as Sandra explained to me, deep in her cellular memory, she knew that this was a path to follow. In that, when she was introduced to the Fountain of Plenitude, the rose quartz kit, she jumped in, and I hear that she is a gold star student, which would mean she's very disciplined, it sounds like, and very dedicated. So I look forward to hearing from you, Irene, and how this experience has been for you.
It has been it's a game changer. Want to resume it, it's a game changer.
It's a game changer. Oh my goodness. I wish I could speak with you in Portuguese actually, but it's like I have no Portuguese, so I thank you for speaking in the only language that I know. So Sandra, what was it like when you met Sandrine or when you met Irene?
Well, she was a very vibrant being and very interested in her physical, but there was a spark in her that I knew was ready to be awakened, but I was in no rush to precipitate any events. So I was doing these classes, and then I was between my travels between Lisbon and Toronto, and we kept in contact through social media. And I would give her in the manner that she was ready to receive information. So she didn't even know much about my practices, is my understanding, the ceremonies, the healings, the teachings from Almin. So in 2020, we met again, and it was, I think we didn't see each other for about a year and a half that I was in Canada. And when I went back, it was like I could feel that she was mutating, transmutating from Canada. And I could see that things were going to be different when we would meet next time. And they were. But still, it was not that point where she's, it's like when a person is in the trampoline in front of the swimming pool, they do a few jumps before they preparing their dive. So she was doing this in full preparation, and I'm like, okay, I'm here, and I know when she's ready to jump, I'm just gonna tell you where is exactly that you want to jump. And it was last year. I don't remember the details because it's all in one, but I know it was last year in one moment, and she was describing very tumultuous, having tumultuous experiences in terms of emotions, turmoil. And I said, and I had just, I think I was going to do levels for the second time, phase one of the Fountain of Plenitude. So I said to her, I know exactly what you're looking for. It is this. And I mean, she was like, yes, yes. In like within hours, she was on. Within a week or 2 weeks after being on the phase 1 of the Fountain of Plenitude, when is the phase 2 starting? Can I sign up now? I mean, like finish phase 1, Irene. And I think you two did a parallel protocol, phase 1,
We
if
were
I'm
in the
not
same group.
mistaken,
We were in the
Yes,
same group.
yes.
right?
Hmm.
Yes. And then she just finished phase 2 and she's like, okay, where's phase 3? I'm ready. And now I'm just gonna have to do this again. So when I say she's a gold star student, I'm not exaggerating because her enthusiasm, her devotion, her dedication, and is like has carried her. You know, she doesn't come from Almin's background. And she, at the beginning, she kept saying, I don't feel like fit here. It's everybody is like such a different level. And I say, you wouldn't be here if you would not belong in this place. This sense of feeling misplaced, it's a program. We actually have an angel God that heals that in Kanish Bhavaspata, which is the CD I sent you as a gift. So that's what we have here. Somebody that show up in full readiness to be amazed, bringing on everything that she has. And I mean, she brings me so much joy because if it's a day passes by without her sharing me a miracle, a magical moment, how things are changing, is like a day without Irene. Like she is on. And I want to have her explain what is her experience. How do you feel you started and where are you right now? Just share your heart with us, my love.
Oh, you always tell me something that you always tell me that I did forget where I started. And I guess that's true. I really don't remember how it was before.
Good.
I don't remember life without this message, this magic all around. And I always said to you that when you ask universe for signs, you have to see them. So I asked the universe for signs and they come up. And things changed. So when I started, I was really very unsure because Kathleen and all the others, I felt that they had done so many things before and they knew Almin and they knew the oils. And I was so like the new little one there. And then I started to do it and things really started to change. And about the meridians, for example, I never heard of the meridians before. So I was reading a Feng Shui book, nothing to do with Almin or anything, and I love Feng Shui. And there was a mentioning the meridians. And I bought a book about the meridians. So everything came up like you are on the right path, you know? There are many signs, one after another, that will be the right way. It is like awakening, like coming back to the self, coming back to who we really are. And
Beautiful.
out of the matrix, out of all the things that other people want us to be, expect us to be, tell us to be, you know, it's coming back to the self. It's really a very amazing experience.
Kathleen, what are your thoughts?
It's an inner knowing. Like it's not like, you know, Irene found the books and was all these serendipity, you know, things were flowing and she was able to be open to the signs. Yet at the same time, Irene was saying she's coming home to the self. So it's already who she is, or it's already part of who you are. What this protocol does, it takes many layers and many techniques and beautifully presents them to your being, yourself. And because it's a lot about frequency, it's like it works on a level that's not cognitive. So in fact, you don't need to know these things. The mind likes to know. And when, for example, I've been around this approach and Almin's lovely work for a few years, so it's familiar to me. I know the terms, I know the aromas, and I know the yoga exercises. So it's familiar, and my mind knows, oh, I've done this before, I like it. But really, what I'm sensing mostly is that it's not information coming in so that you have to learn it that way. It's something that resonates with you, or it resonates, and because you're exposing yourself to it, you're saying, okay, I'm going to do the sound exercise, the sound elixir. I'm going to be open to receiving the Belvaspita. I'm going, that it's a knowing that is a different kind of knowing than we've been brought up with, which may be the programming that you're talking about. The system says this is the way it is, and you agree, or you just whatever. So I love the way it's a new kind of knowing. It's a new kind of, it's not new. It's familiar. So if you know what I'm saying.
Like awakening something inside of you.
It is, yes. So how about explaining, not explaining, but through the senses, speaking about how it feels? Because if you're awakening how you feel at home in yourself.
It feels very self-empowering. Be the designer of your own life. Like stopping to be in the metrics and in what everyone makes you do, but now you can decide what your life is going to be, because everything has two sides. You can look at everything that happens to you like something not good or like something good. So you have to look at the bright sides. You have to search for the magic in every moment and in everything, and the magic will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's something that I believe in my mind that's not good, then I'm learning this. I'm learning not to judge. I'm learning acceptance and just let it flow, and the magic, it will show up.
So beautiful. I have to say that one of the most miraculous shifts I have experienced and witnessed with Irene is her ability to be fluid. This is like the impossible pattern to break. And she has managed, like just after the first Fountain of Plenitude. I will give you an example. Kathleen, imagine she posts something on Instagram along the lines that life is too short, enjoy every moment, or something like this. And when I read that, it just triggered something in me and inspired me to post something about we must be like vigilant with our language, because our language creates a reality and affirms a reality that it isn't true. It can be life, life can be short, can be long, can be anything. It's what you make out of it. And so I send her this message to her, and then I do the posting, and she just responds, done. And she shifts. And this goes not one time. I'm constantly challenging her to let go of what she thought she knew. And she has no resistance. And I can see how the protocol makes that fluid terrain, not only in the physical, but also in all her bodies, right? In the physical body, her emotional, her soul, her spiritual body, how to embrace the newness, which is the cradle for self-regeneration. We cannot be regenerating and rejuvenating, carrying programs and stories from the past.
Brilliant. I think we're carrying old phrases. Like I know the intention would be seize the day, you know, whatever, but sometimes the old phrases are old and regurgitating rather than regenerating. So
Yes.
so if it's like you were saying, it's like life is too short, it means something else. So so perhaps we need some new phrases, you know,
Yes.
and actually new ways of looking at things, because that's all there really is, because the old stuff is the old stuff, phrases, which it's a challenge because we're living in a world where we need to communicate, and sometimes the old ones are handy, but in actual fact the
You know,
newness that comes is so new that you have to give it new words.
yes.
Yeah.
You know what, which one like really gets me is I love you to the moon and back. This one gets me. And I'm like, why is everybody saying the same thing? Let's create something new.
You're into
Oh,
limitlessness.
yes, from the bottom of my heart. Okay, how about the top of your heart? How about the middle? How about all the parts in your heart?
Yeah.
It's like the language, the cliche.
Yeah.
It lacks freshness.
And yeah, and the way the freshness Irene, as you were saying in the example, received it was okay. On it, I'm on it. I'm flowing with it rather than insisting upon it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's quite exciting because you guys met in a physical. You were doing physical work, whatever your gym offered you, and it's only when you've done some exercises that you know you're capable of actually, oh, I can really lift my arm up high, or oh, I have more strength in whatever part of my body, the muscles. So it's new muscles of the heart, new muscles of the emotions, of the mind, and flexibility is key. Yeah. So,
I
what?
still like to work out. It's it's
Yeah.
something I'm still addicted, but you can do both things.
Yeah.
One thing doesn't put the other out. It would be so important that the whole world could wake up and look at things differently and make the world a better place and take care of Mother Earth, and that have people are so just living their own small life, you know, that's what I see around me. And their small little problems, they are not able to look from a vast point of view. And okay, I know that every person is the place they should be. Everything is in divine order. So we are not better and not worse. Everyone is in a different step of acknowledging the world, acknowledging spirituality. But when you awake, then you just have to leave a few persons behind.
And how do you care for Mother Earth, as you say? Because I know this protocol is about caring for yourself, which means that you're able to care in new ways for everything around you.
You can care sending positive energy in your meditations and including Mother Earth in your meditation.
I also think that you do more than that. Like by honoring the food that you eat, you're honoring the earth because you very disciplined as well with the food that you put in your body. You eat very healthy. You have a
Yes.
library of books of so when you honor your body, you also honoring Mother Earth because you are that. And not only that, you are eating the fruits, the vegetables with reverence. Like if I go to your Instagram page, all these beautiful recipes, I'm like, oh my God, Irene, I want to be your roommate. Can you make this
I
for
make
me?
everyone around me eat healthy, and I can tell you that I don't like to be in the kitchen. I'm not the kind of person that never in my life I baked a cake or anything. I don't eat meat since I was born. I don't like meat, as you know. So I was born an alien. That
Yeah.
was the first thing I told you that I felt in phase one. I felt like an alien.
Yes, you
You
did.
remember that?
Yes.
But when it comes to cook healthy food, then I'm there.
Yes.
I couldn't eat anything that's not healthy. Can't explain. Just my
You.
body needs to eat fruits and the vegetables and everything that comes from the earth.
Oh my,
So
and it's
yes, that's your love. That's your love for the earth, isn't it, Kathleen?
yeah, and I'm just thinking that you must have a lot of fresh food where you live as well. The benefits of having locally grown um, fruit and veg. What kind of fruit do you have growing? That would be from Portugal.
At this moment and this time of the year, you have only the basic ones like apples and pears. And at this time of the year, I don't have that much oranges and nectarines. The rest is not typical, like strawberries, but it's not
Hmm.
Portuguese.
Well, like the sensitivity, like when you eat, you were talking about papaya earlier, for example, and I know when I eat papaya, I feel my hair and my skin transform. And I know like my sensitivities to these things are like I'm listening to my body more.
Yes.
So,
I crave green smoothies. And other people crave cookies. Really different.
yeah.
Your body my body is so used to eating healthy that I just can't eat something that's not healthy. Even my weekend treats are healthy and raw cookies or healthy brownies, Ayurveda recipes.
Oh.
But you see, there is a fine line because actually, you pull one of the runes yesterday, and the key word was agenda,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like in order to manifest those desires, is leave the agenda behind. So Almin has said many times, eat without agenda. So the agenda would be, oh, I'm getting this vitamin from this. I'm gonna get the calcium, and I need this for my bones and my body. But when Irene is talking about her way of nourishing her body, I hear her saying how much she enjoys it, how much
Yeah.
she's caring. She's not talking about from needs. She's not coming from needs. She's coming from replenishing from this bounty of what the earth has to give her. This is my sense.
So does it come down to what drives you? What's your motivation? Are you like naturally curious, or do you actually listen to your body and say, this feels good. I want more, I'd like more of this. Um, what is your nature, Irene, very mm, or is it even increasing self-care, self-love, self-honoring?
So the beginning of it was in 2001. Meat, I never liked since I was born. In 2001, I was ill about 2 times a year with heavy allergies and having to take corticoids in my vein 2 times a year, more or less. And I just started to change everything. I just told myself, I'm not going to take any medicine anymore. And I started to buy books from Amazon, United States. You didn't have anything in Portugal, and all the doctors just put me eating only like eggs and lettuce, nothing more, because they told me strawberries would cause the allergies, and tomatoes and whatever. So I couldn't eat anything. Like I was getting really thinny and had nothing to eat. They were just the conventional medicine. So I started to buy books and started to read and started to study by myself. and started to put my own food map together with the things that felt good, that make me feel empowered, that make me feel more energy, that make me feel more healthy. And I started this all by my own. Then later on, I did workshops and lots of things. I did raw detox, vegan detox. Then later I did many things, but I started it on my own. Just started to eat something, and how do I feel when I eat this? And started to put it together like that. So it was really many years ago.
Mm. And it sounds like you also are very determined. When you come across something, you hear yourself, you just make a decision. You seem to do it 100%.
Yeah, always. That's why I was telling Sandra and the phase 1 that it's coming back to the self. Because a few years ago, lots of years ago, I remember that anytime that I decide something, I go straight to it and I'll get there. Doesn't matter what it takes. And over the time, I lost a bit that, not the capacity, but maybe the strength to do it. Now it's like coming back home. Coming back to doing only what I want, what I decide, and mastering what's the best for me in life.
It's also a coming back home. Coming back home to yourself is it's a bodily sensation.
Yes.
Like
empowering.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see how clearing all the neediness or all these emotions that block you. I can see how clearing them makes you feel as though you're at home in yourself. And I think you can then recognize that it's been years and years of not feeling at home in yourself, feeling alien, feeling different. And what this does is, as you say, empowers you, or it assists you to be empowered, which means you don't need anything from the outside as such. You're not seeking anything. You're not seeking acknowledgement from anywhere else. You can give it to yourself. Yeah.
I also would like to invite Irene to speak about the subpersonalities, because I feel that she found some treasures with her inner child experience. What can you share about the protocol that you feel that helped you with your inner child?
I discovered that there was some, maybe not wrong, but not perfect in my childhood, because my inner child still needs support sometimes. I need, for example, I tell you, Sandra, I tell you this sometimes. I need assurance that I am capable of doing this protocol and of being able to come to the stage that I want, like you. I want to be like you.
Oh,
I want to be my best version, and sometimes I need this assurance. It's like I was so unsure, and my inner child is still unsure, you know?
The insecurity, which you can heal with the lotus oil. Remember, I think we talked about the lotus oil. That is one of the, I recognize it very well because I had to deal with this in a different facet, because it presents, it's not insecurity in one way. Insecurity has so many palettes, so many pinks, so many shades of green and red, and is presented to each one of us in a way that is exactly the way that you need to overcome it. Because my insecurity for you could be nothing. Your insecurity for me, it's like, vice versa. So we have exact dose that we need, that we must overcome or conquer within ourselves. There's only one conquest, is the conquering of the self. That's it. And seeing first, we must see what is there that is ready to be shifted. So this, when we're clear, and I'm working with all the meridian points, which incidentally, Kathleen, somebody asked me if we could do a short video of the points, maybe. Somebody was asking because we keep talking, showing the box, and nothing really happened. And so I'm thinking, yeah, thank you. We were not able to see that because it was not the moment. But anyway, all of this moving and shaking and steering, what really happens is like start showing the areas that need attention, the areas in which we are to excel. And as I said earlier, when we did that meditation, this potential to be revealed. I personally felt my inner child healed a lot by massaging my ears. That was very soothing and reaffirming to me. I don't know if you experienced anything like this when you were doing the ears or when you were doing the face.
Yes, but I still need more.
Yes, of course. That, you know, there's no point of arrival. We will continue doing things, and the layer of the phase 1 can be carried to the phase 2, and the phase 2 can be carried to the phase 3, and then we'll bring everything together. And you don't have to remember where you were. Remember, I think I said that to you. Actually, you're right. You're not going to even remember how life was for you before the protocol.
Always tell me that. You are forgetting where you came from.
Yes. And it's great. It is absolutely great having, this is called having no point of reference. The point of reference, what it does. Okay, so imagine you, because I observe people, you know, you walk into a garden, and instead of seeing these like marvelous gardens, they can say, oh, this garden reminds me of the garden or the Gulbenkian gardens, and you're in Paris. So that means you bring in the programs of the eyes to that moment. So you're not able to see freshness. You're not able to see the new that is in front of you. Oh, you know, you remind me of my cousin. Oh, like there's always a reference point coming in. And I know this is part of the matrix. So I am very diligent when I am around people that start pulling in other realities into this one, because it's not allowing this one to flourish. So when we don't have a point of reference, example, you not remembering, it means like literally you have lost that. A point of reference is like a cord, a cable that ties you into that place. And now you free yourself. You don't know where you were. And tomorrow you're not going to know where you were yesterday. And so on. So you're always anew.
It's great.
Yes. Yes.
It's actually like the child. It's like the child. The child is kind of every day is like that. A young child.
And what is being like the other part too, like lately I like to talk in this like part 1, part 2. I don't know where that comes from, but the part 2 of Irene is that she's able to assist the people in her environment that she cares the most. And she has been able to provide the experiences of the tools, and she can see how those loved ones are changing.
That was something when you told me to do, I thought you would tell me, you are crazy. I'm not going to put oil on my head and hear something to fall asleep. But it was so curious. From the first time I did it, it was normal. And now he asked for it.
You see?
Even if I take on weekends, you always take naps, like babies, you know?
Yeah,
well,
it's very good.
Because we're so tired from the week. And he asked, even before the naps, asked for the oil and for the sound elixir. I think it's so great. I'm so happy with it.
What sound elixirs do you listen to on the weekends? And
I'm changing them according to what I feel that he needs.
Mm-hmm.
He is more anxious. He is very anxious, and he has lots of stress at his work. So I feel if he is more angry, more anxious, or more afraid, and I go and study and use that. The idea is to go through all of them, but using the one that I feel he needs more.
All of them, like the meridian
All the
elixirs.
meridians, yes, the sound
Mhm.
elixirs of the meridians. I was referring to them.
Yeah, they're powerful. It's lovely, isn't it, that you can once you have them, that you can find the one according to the emotion that's sort of the outstanding emotion, and know that in the next few minutes you're addressing that without having to go into therapy or,
Yes,
or
right. To
whatever.
see him change.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I
And
really thought it
also,
would never be possible when Sandra told me,
yes,
I did on the love of your life, and he's going to tell me I'm crazy, oil on my hands. How serious, but it was really curious. From the first time, he didn't oppose to it, and now he asked for it.
well, big shift. Not only that, I haven't heard you saying, how he used to repeat himself with the stories. It seems like the stories have stopped also.
Yes, he's much calmer and not that anxious.
And this is someone that hasn't done the protocol.
No.
Just because you are there, how we can impact our environment. And
So
you raise, Admin says you love somebody unconditionally, you raise their consciousness 40%. If you love somebody conditionally, you still raise them 10%. Yes.
Brilliant.
it's so
Actually,
powerful.
it's when you fall in love for the first time, that honeymoon, that's the kind of feeling you want to have. The sense of newness and
Yes.
excitement. And Irene mentioned curiosity. That's another important ingredient. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
And I also suggested play the elixirs 2 times because it's a totally different experience. It's like you're cracking the ice on the first one. On the second one is water. There's no more ice.
Yes, normally I use at the weekends I use the same hot for a nap and at evening. Then the next day I use another one. I always do them twice. That's a good experience.
I wish I was there to hug you and squeeze you until you tell me stop it. Stop it, Sandra.
I wish you would be here.
Oh, we're gonna
I
be
miss
with each other soon. We will. I think this year.
right. I missed you.
Thank you, honey. Me too. Kathleen,
Hmm.
wouldn't you give her another golden star to this beauty? Oh, you fairy godmother. Thank you.
It's so good. I hope to see you in one of the groups along the way. And I actually have been saying I'd like to do it on my own. And you've inspired me to listen to the music, listen to the sound elixirs more regularly, because they are beautiful. They really are. Sometimes I go to the SoundCloud in the shop where it's just the tasters,
Yes.
and if I'm not organized with my own playing list, and I'll just play those because they go from one to the next examples of it, because you can get those separately, but it's part of the package that you get
Right.
when you join. So, and I know we're doing this conversation so that we let people know about it in case there's someone who doesn't know, and that there's one starting in June. And this
June
is
1st?
June the 1st, and you get the live distance healing, the Belvaspata, which is quite amazing.
And 3 Zoom calls. And as we all find different value in the different parts of the protocol, but some people really appreciate the sense of community and the sense of the liveness that I am available, and anything they have, Irene can tell you, We have been in touch, and she has never felt alone. And she's gone through so many changes. A few days ago, she said, months ago, I would have gone crazy with the changes that are happening at work. And I'm in such a state of peace and acceptance. She didn't even mention, she didn't even have the need to explain what are those changes. I'm thinking, wow, in the past, she would have bombarded me with every detail.
Yes, and wanting to know if it's better or worse. No, just let it go. I'm really trying to learn.
No, you're not trying. You are learning. You stop trying.
What was the word? I'm learning what?
Acceptance.
Acceptance. Yeah.
Yes. She's
and
saying,
not
I'm trying to learn.
Acceptance and not judging what is happening around you.
It's like, everything happens for a reason. And as soon as you get the reason, then you don't have to have it happen again. And that's what it sounds like is happening. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like sharing this right here because it got uncovered on the call with Irene and another participant about how we bust belief systems. We are belief systems busters. And it started to come the message through a show that I was watching on Netflix, and then in my own life, and I can't remember, but the belief system goes like this. It has more value to start something and finish it. Example, you start a university, and it has more value finishing, whether you like it, enjoy it, want to, desire to finish. That is irrelevant. You must finish. That is very valued. Now, if instead of doing 4 years of one particular program in university, you decide, oh, I'm going to start massage therapy now. And then you realize, like 8 months later, wow, this is really not what I thought it was going to be. You know what? I'm going to go for a personal trainer now. And okay, you graduate, you finish your personal training, you work at it for 3 months, and you're like, nah, you start something new. This is totally unvalued by society. You come across as a flaky, you're not solid, you're a little cuckoo, you're crazy, you don't finish anything, you don't amount to any accomplishments. And I've been busting this. And I was looking at it, I'm like, well, and then Irene said, oh, that's me. And I'm like, that's me. So many things I started and I dropped. But this is really what you touch on what she said. This is the level of the curiosity and the wonderment, and having the courage to say no if it doesn't inspire you anymore. Absolutely. So it is being in touch with yourself, because the only way I could finish something that I absolutely dislike is being disconnected from my heart. That's the only way I can do this.
I was like this all my life, as I was telling you yesterday on the Zoom call. And as you know, I lived in Germany, and in Portugal when I arrived, I was at German school, and it's all very like Germans, I have a German head and mind. And they put me to a psychologist because I never ended anything. Because when I managed it, I wanted something new. So, but I never get along with the psychologist, because I always make her so crazy she would give up on me. Fake words with her, so she never could put anything out. She never extracted anything that she wanted to know. You understand? She asked me questions, and I just tricked her. So they gave up on me.
Well, you were not able to be put in a box, honey.
Exactly.
Yes. That is the original we're talking about. How beautiful.
And I did that all my life. I did I told you I did a spinning instructor certification. I did one of personal trainer. I did so many things. There are two that I did finish, the international coaching and PNL, because that was something I really loved and gave me tools to work with. But
The
all the other
NLP.
things,
That's the NLP. That's what she's talking, Kathleen. Sorry.
yes,
Yeah, so it's like the heart, it's no surprise, Sandra, you have Healing of the Heart as your website, and it's like we can't use those old sayings anymore. Which box do you fit into? None of them,
No.
You're following your heart. You may not know you're doing it, but if you're a unique individual, which everyone actually is,
yeah.
then it's life's exciting, and that's one of the biggest changes that's going on in the world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is exciting. Now I'm going to pop a big question. It doesn't come with a ring though, Irene. It's a big question. I want to ask you, what would you say to someone that is thinking about the Fountain of Plenitude protocol? What would be your advice for these people from your heart? What would you tell me if I say, I don't know if I really should enroll in this protocol? What would you say to me?
Just stop thinking, follow your heart, do it, just start. And then once you started, magic is going to happen, and you never want to stop again. You just want to go more and more. You want to learn more. You want to know more. You want to understand more. You want to have more tools. You want more magic. It's addicting,
Once you
It's a
know it's
good,
there, once you know it's available, then the door is open for more.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like not more in the old sense of, stuff, but it's sensations, more that feels good. I didn't know things could feel like that. Yeah.
So once you start, you don't have any more questions. Just start it and feel it and open your heart.
Do you have one last question for Irene, Kathleen?
I don't know. I too have German background, and I love the feeling of the heart softening and all of that. Um, do you have a favorite oil? We get 4 in the kit.
I have Flight of the Falcon is my absolute favorite, but I have another one that I also love. It's not in the kit. I bought it apart. Power of Love.
Power of Love.
Yes.
Now, just tell me one thing. What do you feel it was the most important thing or important part in the protocol for you? Or if there was anything that you recall that was changing, the moment when everything changed, or anything that stood up for you, that you say, wow, was a turning point for me, or, oh, the roller in my face was my favorite, or the oil. What was it for you? I wanted to hear your heart.
From phase 1?
Yes.
Because from phase 2, I have one meditation that you know that I love.
Yes.
That's the one where Almin says, all you can wish for, you can have, the gift of life. And
yes.
I hear that sentence in my mind the whole day. I don't know why, but just anchored, something that anchored. Yeah.
Yes.
From
Beautiful.
phase 1, it was the beginning. I guess if I sent you an email or an SMS when I told you I feel like coming back to myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was one turning point that I felt that I could be myself.
Do you remember which meridian was? It was the heart.
The heart. Yes.
Yes.
The heart.
The day of the heart meridian. And you also told me that in phase 2, when you were doing phase 2, that you missed the daily guidance because it's a little different, the way the protocol is designed.
The first 3 days, I missed the daily guidance so much. I missed your voice. I missed. It's like you get so used to have someone to guide you, and that I always thought that I needed it, but then I got used to doing it on myself.
Perfect. Self-sovereignty again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Irene, meeting you and hearing your stories, tuning in with that experience. And Sandra, thank you for introducing me to Irene. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathleen. Hope we meet at one of the phases of the protocol of plenitude.
And we shall meet in person after phase 5.
Oh, that's great. Then we will be on a really highest level.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Mm.